Heinz Diamond Head Classic between Oregon State and Nebraska. First game went a little long, a lot of foul calls, a lot of whistles, and so here we go at an 11:18 a.m. local start time. We're playing basketball here in this battle for fifth. And it is Charleston controlling. Here is Ante Brzovic. Getting deep in the paint, couldn't hit the short jump hook, but got the ball back. They get it back to Brzovic on the other side. And this time going to his left hand, and he's able to finish over Dean Reber. And the ice has been broken here in the scoring column. Our starting lineups brought to you by Outrigger Resorts. Robert Braswell, the fourth. He is averaging 13 points per game, and a guy who has put in double figures on average here in the first 2 days of the Diamond Head Classic. Corner three, that splashes down. And a good start for Jayshawn Thomas, a 30% three-point shooter. On the other side, Ante Brzovic, averaging 18 a game, was somewhat quiet in the opening day loss to Oregon State, but reached double figures, 14.6 rebounds, 5 assists in the win over Loyola on day 2.
Charleston a little careless with that ball. Boyd wasn't exactly in the front court when he got possession, so backcourt violation, ball goes back to Charlotte.
From straight on, it's Reber. He'll try a three. That one rims out. Reber shooting 21% from out there. He's now 4 of 20 on the season, but he will attempt those threes. A.J. Smith missing on the drive. Nick Graves, the pull-up, and that is good. He is just so smooth with it. Never seems like he's out of control.
He's a high-level thinker when he has the ball in his hand. He's always searching, looking, and thinking, what's the right play? And right there, calls his own number on the pull-up.
Tavares somehow got it back and then got it to his teammate, who got it up and in. A.J. Smith with the bucket.
Right there, Charlotte all complaining to the officials, wanting a call, and they should have been continuing to play defense.
49ers coming in 7-5 overall on the year. Charleston 9-3. Nice cut and a great find there. Graves getting it to Thomas. 7-4 early lead here for Charlotte.
You see the impact that Graves has on the game early on, already with a bucket and 2 assists.
Tavares a little long on that pull-up jumper. Thomas hanging in the air and finishing at the rim.
You can't get beat out front that early. And if you do get beat, you got to have teammates that rotate over. That time, Tavares gets beat and nobody rotates over.
Open look from the corner. This is Smith, and he drills it. These two teams looking awfully comfortable here offensively early. That one deflected off of Reber. Able to wrestle it back and finds underneath a cutting Nika Metskladishvili, 6'8", grad student from the nation of Georgia. Getting his 7th start of the season. How about that spin move by Brzovic? No hesitation, and was able to get to the baseline against Reber.
And you just wonder when Brzovic's going to break out of that funk that he was in the first couple of games. He is a 20-point-per-game guy, and although he does end up getting decent numbers, he doesn't dominate the way that he did in some earlier games this season.
C.J. Fulton securing the rebound. Thought about the three, instead gets it to Tavares. That three ball is off the mark. As opposed to Murray State, who we saw in the early game here today, these two teams not interested in getting too deep into the shot clock. They're pulling the trigger.
Good opportunities for both teams. Penetrate, kick, one-on-one. Everybody playing with a nice up-tempo rhythm.
Skip pass. Darren Boyd puts it on the floor. Now Fulton going baseline. It's going to be an open look for Smith. Fulton the offensive rebound. Tavares lets it fly, gets fouled, and hits the jumper. So an and one from distance, 4-point opportunity coming up after the break.
Outstanding ball movement by the Cougars. Lights out by their lights out shooter. He's got a chance for a 4-point play when we get back.
Early on here, this is the battle for 5th place. Charleston and Charlotte. 12-11 score, and Daywilk Tavares looking to complete a 4-point play. Knocked down the 3, got fouled by Nick Graves, and he does so. 2-point advantage here for the Cougars. Tavares had that 30-burger against Loyola on day 2, was 7 of 16 from the land of 3. He was 1 point off of his career high and was the 19th player in Hawaiian Airlines Diamond Head Classic history to score 30 in a game. There ended up being 2 more 30-point individual performances on day 2 after that. Nick Graves was one of them. Turnaround shot and a tough one there by Giancarlo Rosado. Berzovic, he can shoot the 3. Elected not to take it there. Good closeout by Graves. Now in the left corner, Eustace Stonkus off the heel. Nice bounce pass underneath, and it results in a 3 try from the corner. That is Braswell.
The 49ers done a great job of making the extra pass. Good action, good ball movement from them early on.
Braswell, the most prolific 3-point shooter on the squad for Charlotte, coming in, leading the team in makes and takes. Good tap out by Elijah Jones, and a reset 3 for Boyd off the heel. And this time, Charlotte secures the long rebound, and a foul on a collision at midcourt as Jayshawn Thomas hits the deck. It's going to go against Darren Boyd. That is his first. 1 team foul on either side. And Charlotte basketball. Charlotte lost to Hawaii on day 1, 78-61. They were out-rebounded by the Rainbow Warriors, 37-21, held to just 39% from the field. But then they would win what was a double overtime thriller to close the day's action on day 2 against Murray State. The first double overtime game in Hawaiian Airlines Diamond Head Classic history. Here is Thomas for 3. It was a 20-10 run at the end of regulation put on by Charlotte that forced the first overtime. And they were 11 from 12 from the free throw line in the 2 overtime periods. As Jones, the bank is open on a Christmas morning. How about that?
So bad it was good. When he let that go, it had no chance of going in, but ended up going off the glass. But you take those, you tell your teammates, that's what I meant to do.
Yeah, hey, it looks the same in the box score. Here's Rosado, resets, tries the 3. He hit 2 threes in that double overtime game against Murray State. His first 2 made 3s of the season. And Tavares gets his own miss and cleans it up.
That's just a defensive breakdown. Anytime a guy gets all the way to the rim unchallenged and then gets his own rebound while the other 5 guys are standing around, that's kind of stuff that gives coaches gray hairs.
Here's Isaiah Folks. A wild pirouette there in the lane, missed the shot. Berzovic, bullet pass down low. Jones trying to muscle it up, and he gets fouled. And they will say it's in the act, so he goes to the free throw line. Chris Mack, in his first season atop the Charleston program, was out of coaching for a couple of years after his departure from Louisville. He was the head coach there from 2018 to 2022. And was the head coach at Xavier, his alma mater, from 09 to 2018. Said the 2 years off before taking this job at College of Charleston helped to recalibrate things a little bit from his perspective in what is a very different environment, as we all now know, in college sports.
And sometimes that's an advantage when you've got a different perspective while things are changing. When you return to college basketball and the college basketball landscape, you've had a chance to observe it. You're not competing in it. And now he's right back in the thick of things with his squad ready to go.
We're going to have a foul on Adam Comer, who's freshly inserted into the game for Charleston. Aaron Fern is atop the Charlotte program. Second season now. Spent the previous 5 seasons as an assistant under Ron Sanchez, who left for Virginia. And so Fern was named the interim head coach, but the tag was removed in February of last season after a 15-8 start and a 9-2 start in the American Athletic Conference. And that's going to get us to a timeout here on the floor. 11:57 left to play. Battle for 5th here on to the 94-90 victory. His first 2 made threes of the season, Corey.
When duty calls, the big man has to step up, and they call it a wrinkle. He didn't know he could shoot that. Maybe he didn't know he could shoot that, but there you see 2 for 2. Anything to survive and advance. That's the key in these tournaments.
6'8" grad transfer from FAU, spent 4 years over there, averaging 4.8 points per game, 3 rebounds in 25 games off the bench last season. And Isaiah Folks out of the timeout, hitting the free throw. That last foul going against Jole Kirkic, leading to the 2 buckets there from the line. 2-point separation here. Charleston on top. Under 12 minutes to play here. This is the second game of the day. We got 2 more coming, including the championship showdown. Oregon State and Nebraska. That's going to be a good one. Brzovic goes to the right hand. He can use either hands in that scenario.
He's one of those players, you let him get 2 crab dribbles and get to his sweet spot, you've got all kinds of problems, because he's a great passer out of the post as well.
Rosado, athletic with that frame, gets it up top. Folks can't hit the 3.
Folks kind of hesitated, put a little hitch in his jump shot.
Stonkus too strong off the glass. Here's Rosado. And we're going to have a whistle and a foul before what could have been a traveling violation. We saw a little shuffling of the feet. But it's going to be a foul against Eustace Stonkus.
You always get nervous when your big men start taking matters into their own hands, trying to create a little offense. A little contact before the foul. Before the travel, I should say.
Will Howard, Amy Bonner, Todd Apo, the officiating trio here for this ball game. This is Kylan Blackman, missing from distance. Transfer from Coastal Carolina. Brzovic lost the handle, and Graves over there to take it away. He spins into the lane, wild shot. He ends up on the floor. And it's coming the other way. Tavares stepping into a 3. In a while since Charlotte has made a field goal. Almost 4 minutes, as a matter of fact. Rosado doing a lot of dribbling here, and there it was. Another shuffling of the feet. This time results in the traveling violation and turnover.
You've seen him in the one-on-one. He wants to plant, create contact, and spin, but right there, shuffled his feet initially.
And so a straight scoring drought now of over 2 minutes ensuing for the 49ers. See See if Charleston can take advantage here. Up 4, under 10 minutes to play in the first half. Underneath, it's Brzovic. The pump fake, got the defender out of the way, and then finished with the easy 2.
And that is the easiest look he's had in a while. Just a basic misdirection. They take the ball away and set a back screen for him.
8 points now for Brzovic. Between the legs pass there to Graves from Rosado. 2 seconds on the clock. Graves has to hoist. Strong defensive stand there by the Cougars.
Cougars starting to gel a little bit on both ends of the floor. You've seen the passing increase.
Tavares, the nice hesitation, but good help defense. And now numbers for Charlotte. Folks missing the runner, the follow-up, and a good cleanup job there by Rich Rolfe. Rolfe, who was a starter to start the season. Started the first 6 games, in fact, coming off the bench for now the 7th straight. Dump down, Brzovic finding a cutting A.J. Smith.
And you'll see that a lot from the Cougars. Brzovic with the ball, multiple cutters moving all around him. His choice as to what to do with the ball. Very gifted player.
There's Rosado, a lot of contact there. He goes down to the floor. And that's going to get us to a timeout with exactly 8 minutes left. In this first frame, Charleston up on Charlotte by 6. A whole lot of different fronts.
You love it. You got great competition, bowl games, football, basketball, tournaments, family, food, fun, holidays. And then you go to the gym New Year's Eve and pretend it all didn't happen.
Yes, and you make promises that you usually decide not to keep by February.
I promise not to live like this again in 2025. I love it.
And then, of course, there's always the accompanying line, and this time, I mean it.
Yeah.
Giancarlo Rosado to the free throw line here out of the timeout. Misses the first free throw. 74% shooter from the charity stripe. Missed 4 games prior to the Hawaiian Airlines Diamond Head Classic with a knee injury. At 8 points, 3 assists against Hawaii in that loss on day 1. Then went for a career-high 23 points, 5 rebounds. Saw the 2 made threes off the bench in that double overtime win against Murray State on day 2. Second appearance for Charlotte in the Hawaiian Airlines Diamond Head Classic. Went 0-3 in 2018. Also the second appearance on the other side in this tournament for Charleston. They were part of the inaugural field in 2009. Went 1-2 in that first edition of the event. Here's Brzovic. So smooth with that jump hook.
If you want to play him straight up in the post, then go ahead and have a seat and get tickets to the show, because he's going to give you a show. He's going to give you all kinds of stuff. Jump hooks, spin moves. He has got a bag, and most coaches don't want to see it. But right now, they're playing him one-on-one.
Getting loose underneath. We've seen this a couple of times. Kylan Blackman, the beneficiary. Boyd lost it. And then Thomas loses the handle as well, but it stays here at this end out of bounds. Thoughts on the pacing that we're seeing here so far in this first half?
Well, I think the Cougars have a better rhythm offensively right now because they're playing through their big man and shots and points are easier to come by. I think Charlotte is working very hard for their points as you see the one-on-one and one, which is just a great one-on-one effort. They've got some weapons, but things aren't coming easy. But good entry pass, and right here, just go up through the arms of the defender, get it on the rim, 3 the hard way.
Tavares picking up that foul, and so Jayshon Thomas, the lone JUCO transfer on the roster, able to complete the three-point play. Spent 2 years at Florida Southwestern State, a graduate of Whitney Young High School in Chicago, where he was a 1,000-point scorer.
And that is no small feat. Whitney Young, legendary high school Chicago basketball, turned out tons of stars.
Foul called there on the double team. And they're going to get Nika Mechkladishvili on the foul.
And we saw things a little different on that last possession. As soon as Burcevic touched the ball, he received that double team and tried to dribble his way out of it.
7 seconds to shoot. What a pass. Boyd able to finish, but that was a dime dropped by Ante Burcevic.
I said it before, when he has the ball in his hands, he's like the quarterback of their offense, and you saw it right there on that play.
The Colonial Athletic Association preseason player of the year. Strong drive by Braswell. Little up and down action here the last sequence. Boyd for three. That's good.
Boyd made multiple big threes a couple of days ago in the second half to lift them to their win, and there you see that hot hand continuing.
Went for 16 points, was 3 of 6 from out there in the day 2 win against Loyola. Charleston using a 15-5 run late in the second half to go up double digits in that one and ultimately hang on to win. Graves missing from distance. Here is Elijah Jones. And Charleston will get into its stuff. Burcevic this time, the cutter, and he finishes off glass. He's got 12, 6 of 7 from the field.
And you see the discipline right now from the Cougars offensively. They don't run to the ball. Sometimes they run away from the ball. Those backdoor cuts, high percentage shots. I mean, this kind of stuff is basketball 101. It's what you teach your guys. Space the floor. Don't come to the ball. Go away. Look at that dime backdoor in the layup for Boyd. And then right here, ball movement in the corner. Boyd feeling it, knocks it down. And then Burcevic takes his time to go backdoor in traffic with his height on the move. He's tough to stop.
Meanwhile, Tavares called for that last foul at the defensive end. That's his second. And the one-on-one opportunity missed there by Nick Graves. Largest lead of this first half for the Cougars. Another three try by Boyd. And we're going to have a foul. Burcevic had the position there under the glass. Looks like Reber is going to pick up the foul. And that brings Giancarlo Rosado back onto the floor, replacing Reber. And immediately gives up a bucket on the inbound to Burcevic. Burcevic is having his way here in this game.
You guys got caught sleepwalking right there.
Open look from the corner, that's Thomas. And this time a little role reversal as you had Rosado with the position, and it's going to be Burcevic on the rebounding foul.
You know, defensively, you teach man, you, ball. You want to be between yourself, the man, and the ball, but you've also got to have eyes on the ball. And right there, no one paying attention to the inbounder. No pressure on the passer, just too easy of a bucket.
So Burcevic picking up his first, goes to the bench. Rosado at the line. Knocks down the free throw. Was a key contributor for FAU's Final Four run in 2023. That was a fun one to witness. Rosado averaged almost 7 points per game. High percentage from the field. Here's Boyd. Got another one to go. He is starting to percolate here.
Boyd falling in love with that side of the floor. Knocking down a couple of threes over there, pushing this lead out to 10. Big possession here for Charlotte. They want to finish strong before half. They don't want this thing to get away from them.
Rosado, the tough fadeaway, gets the friendly bounce.
Difficult shot. Defender still there, but gets the good roll. And now if you're the 49ers, you want to play some solid defense. Try to get a stop here.
Fulton was a little long on that three. Good job saving that ball by Thomas. And Nick Graves, the wily move there as Elijah Jones collides with him.
The sign is irrelevant. We got snacks, basketball, it's Christmas morning. We got gifts, toys, all of that. He's having a great time.
Well, we wish all of you out there, Mele Kaliki Maka, hope that this holiday is treating you well here to this point. It is almost noon here in Honolulu, Hawaii. 3:01 left to play in this first half. This is the second of 4 games coming your way. Of course, we will lead up to the championship showdown between Oregon State and Nebraska as Graves unable to hit the free throw out of the break. That 3 ball by Brzovic, no, but a foul on the rebound will go against Charlotte. This is going to be Rolfe picking it up. It's the 5th team foul against the 49ers. So it will be an inbounds here for the Cougars. One of the stories so far, Nick Graves averaging over 17.5 points per game, coming off the 31-point performance against Murray State on day 2. He's got just 2 points as Brzovic loses it out of bounds. And there is Nick Graves, 2 points to his stat line, a couple of misses from the free throw line. 3 ball there, Braswell, no, and Boyd elevating for the rebound. Sends it ahead to Brzovic, who was streaking, and gets the lay-in. Brzovic up to 16 points, 8 of 10 shooting.
And this is the game that they've been waiting on from him in the half court. One-on-one moves, transition, making assists, grabbing boards. You start to see the player that he truly is, and how he's a leader for this team.
Another turnover here for Charlotte. Stonkus, that 3 just barely grazes the iron. Rosado trying to take Brzovic off the dribble. Up and under move. Strong move. Finish not there, though.
That's a great move. Ball did everything except go down.
Brzovic finding Stonkus. Got caught a little too deep, but gets bailed out on the foul. Robert Braswell is going to pick this one up. Charlotte shooting 40% from the field here so far, compared to 50 for Charleston. Charleston also has 5 made threes. 5 of 15 from out there compared to 2 of 10 for the 49ers. And Justis Stonkus, 6'6" freshman from Lithuania, to the line. He will turn 18 this week.
Wow. A youngster.
He's a youngin'. Average 11 a game the previous 3 games prior to the Hawaiian Airlines Diamond Head Classic. And for his efforts was named the Colonial Athletic Association Rookie of the Week. Those 1 of 2 there on that trip to the free throw line. Here's Graves. They need him to get going. May have caught Boyd, who reacted as if he got hit in the chops there. And then Berzovic denying access on Rolfe. Smith elevates and draws the whistle. They're going to get Braswell again. That's his second. Free throws coming here for A.J. Smith.
You see the whole Charleston bench up applauding the defensive effort. It was 5-on-4 for a while, because you're right. Boyd had kind of stepped out, took a shot to the face, and they were still able to get the stop and get out in transition in a 4-on-5 situation.
Smith missing from the free throw line, averaging 4 points in this tournament. Had 15 points, was 5 of 13 shooting in his return to the Citadel, where he spent 2 years prior to heading over to Charleston. Those 2 campuses very close to one another, about a mile apart. And so that was a big deal over there in Charleston. And another foul. This one's going to go defensively against Eustace Stonkus. So that's the 10th team foul. So 2 shots coming up here for Kylan Blackman. And helping to keep Charlotte just somewhat in the picture here is the fact that Charleston just 2 of 7 from the free throw line.
Yeah, Charleston leaving a lot of money on the table. Those free throws can add up after a while, but if you're Charlotte, you've got to find a way to get some of those easy buckets that you saw early in the opening minutes, those transition threes, the layups. They've gotten away from any of that. It's really been a half-court grind for them offensively.
Yeah, looking a little flat here through some of this first half.
And I think that's where, you know, Nick Graves is going to have to create some of that action for them. They drop back into this 2-3 zone for what they think will probably be the final defensive possession for them.
Boyd goes to the right hand. He hit a couple from outside. There he is doing some damage inside. He's got 10 points.
When all else fails, put it on the deck and make a play. Boyd with a heads-up recognition and gets a bucket, and now Charlotte will play for the last shot of the half.
Largest lead of this first half for Charlotte, or for Charleston, I should say. Charlotte with the shot clock off. And we're going to have an offensive foul. It's going to go against Jayshawn Thomas.
It's a tough call because you're trying to create space. Let the ball do the work right there. The ball gets up around the head. The arm gets up around the head and neck area. Easy call. Can't give up a good look here. They're going to go ahead and take a timeout and try to draw something up.
They got 5.2 to see if they can get a good look here and try to build on this already largest lead of the first half. Scheduled for 8:30 Eastern on ESPN2, Oregon State and Nebraska. May get moved back a little bit. We'll keep you posted. Roxy Bernstein and Sean Farnham will have the call for you. What's the strategy here defensively for Charlotte, Corey?
Don't let them enter the ball in the paint. Keep the ball on the perimeter and switch everything.
Fulton bounce pass. Berzovic beats the buzzer and one. Well, that could not have gone any more according to plan if you're College of Charleston.
Rule number 1, don't let the ball enter the paint. Keep your man in front of you. 2 things they did not do, and it ends up being a penetration dish and a drop, and we'll take a look to see if he got it off in time.
Well, it looks like he definitely did. They called the foul. I think they're also trying to determine how much time to put back on the clock, and they have decided that they are going to put 1 second.
That is a huge play. I mean, you've got 5 seconds to play solid defense, contest without fouling, and you end up giving up a penetration and an and one. emotionally. The Cougars get to go in on a high note at halftime. This is the largest lead I believe they've had. Big play. Burcevic with a monster line in the first half, 18 on 9 of 11 shooting.
Yeah, he's at his season average already. And a chance to make it 19 here at the free throw line. And he does. The lead is 15 here for Charleston. And the body language a little less than inspiring right now for Charlotte. Graves from half court, and that's how the first 20 minutes come to a close. So Charleston up 15 points here, 46-31. They shoot 53% from the field, and Ante Brzovic doing Ante Brzovic things, leading the way. 9 of 11 from the floor, 6 rebounds. He's got 19 points. Oh, and 3 assists as well. We're going to send it to us here after this break for your halftime report. Charlotte 46-31 in large part because of that guy right there.
Yeah, he's been playing very well, but that Santa, he needed some snacks. He was kind of thin. You know, the belt loop was kind of hanging.
Santa seemed to eat a little bit. Yeah, maybe doing like the same workout regimen that you've been doing. A much slimmer, may I just expose to the world. Much more svelte Corey Williams here.
It was time.
This holiday season. You saw some of the numbers there for Brzovic. He has had a prolific career and has taken it to another level here in this season. Charlotte controlling here on this first possession of the second half, and now we have bodies hitting the floor. 4 players on the deck at one time. A.J. Smith slowly getting up. Tavares still sitting on the floor. Take a look at all of this. It's a demolition derby there in the paint.
Well, Smith Jr. fell, and as he fell, he landed on some people's feet, and it was just amazing that everybody got up from that and nobody with any serious injuries, so that's good. Because it didn't look great when it first happened.
Yeah, looking like bowling pins there for a hot second, but Charleston will control here 30 seconds into this second half.
And the 49ers got to adjust their mind state. They've got a ton of time. There's an entire half of basketball to play, and you're not going to get this all back in just one play. So you've got to make runs. 2 or 3 good runs will tighten this game up for them.
Good defense that time. Looked like Mechkladishvili may have gotten a piece of that shot attempt by Brzovic. And then Brzovic gets his hand in the passing lane, but it goes out of bounds. How about a guy like Nick Graves? I mean, you don't want to necessarily put the pressure on a guy individually to try to perform. You want it to come in the system, but do they need to see him start making more shot attempts here?
Well, you wonder, what he has left in the tank, and does he try to force the issues now, or does he try to get his teammates involved and get within striking distance where he can take over the game?
Going to be a tie-up call. Possession arrow sends it to the other end. Look there at Aaron Fern. Prior to his time at Charlotte, coached professionally in Australia for 17 years. And ironically, it was the professional game that may have been the best teacher in his preparation for the current college climate, where you're basically dealing now with free agency in the offseason and annual roster turnover.
And also style of play. I mean, the international players have brought that style of play to collegiate basketball over the last 10 years. You've seen the success that a number of coaches have had with international players, and that spacing in the way that they play, whether it's Mark Few at Gonzaga or Randy Bennett at St. Mary's with his Australian connection. But the game has changed, so a professional coach from Australia, it's not a whole lot of adjustments you need to make to play college basketball.
Meanwhile, A.J. Smith picking up his second foul on that last sequence. This is an open look for Reber. Rims out. Charlotte 2 of 12 from outside the property line in this game.
3 empty possessions on offense to start the half. Like I said, it's not do or die just yet, but they want to get some rhythm going offensively. They're getting the stops they need.
Getting some points in transition could help. Braswell lost it on the way up, wanted a foul, no call. And now Tavares left alone and hits.
It's only a matter of time until the Cougars figure things out.
Second made 3 for Tavares. That now gives him 10 made 3s for the tournament. Meshkladishvili across the lane. Power dribble, couple of pump fakes, and goes smooch off the glass. Meshkladishvili spent 3 years at Louisiana Monroe, was a third-team All-Sun Belt selection a couple of seasons ago. Here's Smith for 3, that's good. That's been a difference in this game. Charleston 7 of 18 from distance. Another look here for Reber. We're getting some open, solid looks from the perimeter, just not able to knock it down. Smith in transition is fouled by Braswell. And that's going to be his 3rd.
You're seeing the difference right now. Those missed 3s, long rebounds, leading to transitions. And sometimes defensively, your best defense is a made bucket, because that just dictates the tempo of the game and allows you to change your focus mentally. You're making buckets. It's a lot easier to get defensive stops. Right now, Charlotte just not able to connect on a lot of these jump shots.
So A.J. Smith at the line, 6'5" junior from Charlotte, North Carolina. Played 2 years at Combine Academy under current Cougars assistant Jeff McInnes. McInnes, no stranger to the islands. In fact, you rewind all the way to his prep playing days when he was with Oak Hill Academy on a team that also included his would-be North Carolina teammate, Jerry Stackhouse. They came out to the Iolani Classic, which is one of the premier high school basketball events held around this holiday season. They just had their 40th year of the Iolani Classic last week. Turn around by Graves, unable to find it there. Rolfe the follow. Tavares stepping into a 3, and that's an air ball. And that gets us to a timeout on the floor. So Charleston, at the moment, cruising on a Christmas morning. Very cool, very businesslike and assertive here on what can be maybe a difficult game to get up for, right? You're talking about Christmas morning. You're coming off of the day off between the second day of action here in this tournament and this final day. And sometimes that motivation is a little bit hard to tap into, but it seems like the Cougars have shown up and they have been very focused.
No, on day 3, a lot of the games are going to be physical, but the majority of them are going to be, mental, emotional. How are guys feeling? Are they locked in? And you're coaching against picking up bad habits, and you're coaching against mental fatigue at this point.
Left corner 3, this is Blackman. And right now, Charlotte cannot find the range from distance. They are 2 of 14 from behind the arc. Bullet pass underneath, a little too hot to handle even for Darren Boyd. And so it goes the other way.
And for the 49ers, the goal is single digits. You've got a good 7 or 8 minutes of game time to try to get this thing to single digits, and then you can try to make a run. But right now, take advantage of these turnovers, these empty possessions, and right here they get a wide open 3, offensive rebound and putback. Finally, Nick Graves shows himself a little offensively here in the second half.
Yeah, he gets his second made field goal of the game. He has 4 points on 2 of 6 shooting. And maybe that will help get him revved up They're going to need him, you would imagine, to try to get back into this game.
They've got to come with a solution for this right here.
5 seconds to shoot. Boyd hop, skips, jumps his way to the lane, and finishes the deal.
Good inside out right there by Charleston.
That's 30 points in the paint now for Charleston. And Boyd has 12. Three ball from straight on. Rosado no good. Boyd secures the rebound. Tavares on the run. Draws the contact and the whistle.
Kanoa, Boyd made a three before. And you have that in the back of your mind when you close out on him. And then he just blows right by you, gets in the lane, nice little Euro step for the finger roll. And that's a whole lot to deal with. You've got the big man posting up. You've got a three-point shooter who also is a threat to drive. That's a balanced attack.
Yeah, and you figure Darren Boyd just getting more and more confident. He's coming off of an ACL injury, suffered in early February, returned earlier in the season against FAU. Scored a season-best 22 points against Northern Kentucky on November 27th. And so you're starting to see some of that burst. You're starting to see some of that confidence, and that will only improve with time, you would imagine, as you take a look at the top scorers here for the Cougars. Berzovic, Smith, and Boyd. Tavares also in double figures for Charleston. Layup not there, but a foul is called, and that's going to send Jayshawn Thomas to the free throw line. And if you're Charlotte, it's one thing to get back into this game. Obviously, that is the goal. But you're also just trying to maybe build a little bit of momentum leaving the islands, because they're going to be jumping into, like so many of these teams, either back into or jumping into conference play. And they have Tulane on the 31st of December.
A lot of coaches, around the country, I talk to them all the time, go to shoot-arounds, practices, and they talk about, when we play, we put stuff on film, and is it stuff we want to remember or is it stuff we want to forget? That's always the thing. It's like, hey, we went out here, we played 3 games in 4 days. Let's do some good stuff. Let's put some good stuff on film. Let's build. Let's get some guys out there. And it's still a part of the season where the bench can show the staff what they can do. And maybe you come out of a situation like this with some surprises. Maybe there are a few players you can give playing time to that you didn't know about before you came down here.
Graves will try a 3 off the handoff. Good rebound secured by Elijah Jones. And Tavares gets fouled. And Rosado immediately puts up the arm and the finger. Yeah, Charlotte preseason picked 8th in the American. UAB, the preseason favorite. Memphis had that great showing here in the islands over in Lahaina at the Maui Invitational. They were preseason picked 2nd. But Penny Hardaway's team showing signs of being forced to be reckoned with as this season progresses.
No shortage of talent on that Memphis roster.
Rosado off the give and go. For a guy at his size, 6'8", 240 pounds, he can move.
He's got great mobility, but more importantly, he's very clever with the ball. The handling, the passing, definitely not your typical big man.
Foul goes against Berzovic. That's his 3rd. And Rosado hits the free throw. He's 4 or 5 from there. He has 6 points. So Berzovic gonna head to the bench. And so that opens up some opportunities perhaps with Ante Berzovic not on the floor for Charlotte to try to cut into this deficit.
It's simple math at this point. You just can't trade baskets. 13 minutes remaining in this game. You've got to put together a significant amount of defensive stops.
Charleston out of the Colonial Athletic Association, preseason pick to finish 2nd. Towson the favorite going into this year. Here's Boyd open for three. And we're going to have a whistle. And who is this going to go against? It's going to go against Elijah Jones for Charleston. So Jones going over the back there. And so it is Charlotte basketball.
So we see a slight wrinkle. Charlotte goes to a 2-3 zone. They're able to get a stop.
Nick Graves letting it roll into the front court before snatching it up.
Now Charleston going to a 1-3-1 of their own.
This zone look has served Charleston well at different times in the tourney. The spin move freeing up Thomas, that was nice.
Under control, shot clock winding down. Thomas delivers a bucket.
Had 16 points on day one against Hawaii, followed that up with 9 points, 3 boards, and the double overtime win over Murray State. And this is going to be another turnover for Charleston. So again, Brzovic on the bench. You see some signs of life perhaps from the 49ers. It's now Charleston having to weather this stretch here where Brzovic with the 3 fouls is going to be sitting. Adam Comer into the game now, the 6'9" senior from Spartanburg, South Carolina. Under 12 minutes to play. Underneath, couple of passes, and Rosado gets challenged and will go to the free throw line.
Starting to see the 49ers execute a little bit in the half court.
So timeout on the floor. Charlotte eking back.
Entire state of Arizona, Phoenix. I'm surrounded by Sun Devil alums everywhere I go. They're all
they're coming out. They're coming out of the woodwork these days.
Ready to go. It's their time to shine.
Yeah, no, fantastic season. Yeah, that's going to be one of the more intriguing facets of those 2 days of quarterfinal games. How is Arizona State going to perform on that stage? How is Boise State out of the Mountain West Conference going to perform on that stage? Rosado hitting the free throws. And so the lead is 13 here for Charleston. Largest lead was 21. That was with about 14 minutes on the clock. So in a fairly short span of time, Charlotte making a little bit of noise, but Ante Brzovic back on the floor here, Corey, for the Cougars. Here's Tavares open in the corner, and he sticks it.
Charleston's been amazing at the inside out in the balanced attack. They look inside, but not afraid to attack from the perimeter, swinging the ball, getting good looks.
You got to account for where number 5 is, DeWilk Tavares. He now has 14 points, 3 for 6 from downtown. Answer not there from Rolfe, but an offensive rebound. Another stab at it here for the 49ers. Rosado underneath. Was bothered, couldn't hit the shot, and then last touched out of bounds by Stankus. Here's another look at Tavares in the corner.
Nice skip pass, dead corner, bullseye. We saw him a couple of nights ago light this place on fire with that outside shot, and right there, knocks it down again.
That's now 11 made threes in this tourney for Tavares. Timeout taken by Charlotte.
Oregon State just finds a way. The defense, the deflections, the transition, the three-point shooting. They get good play from their bigs. They got 7 or 8 guards that are just all three-point shooters. Like I told you, I think the Fighting Tinkles will get it done.
That defense is key for Oregon State for sure. And be interesting to see if they're able to limit Bryce Williams for Nebraska, who went for 32 points in the Huskers semifinal win over Hawaii. Both teams with a little bit of size as well at a variety of positions. 3 seconds on the shot clock. Graves going to have to let it fly. He does. Misses short side. Rebound Fulton. And that one kicked out of bounds by Graves. A little bit of time off for Charleston before they get going in conference play. Hampton is the first opponent on January 2nd, and then a pretty big matchup. The top 2 picks in the preseason Colonial poll, Towson, on January 4th. Tavares, deep 3. That one rims out. And Brzovic was almost able to scrape that rebound towards him. Ahead it goes. This is Rolfe. Good finish at the rim.
And that's the first transition bucket the 49ers have seen in quite a while. Comes after a defensive stop and almost the theft right there by Graves as he tries to get active and force a turnover.
That's what it might require, a little bit of risk-taking from time to time here for Charlotte on defense. They have not been able to stop this well-oiled Charleston offensive machine so far. Smith got it to go. Bruise and the bucket. 14 points for A.J. Smith.
Excuse me, and that hurts. That's just a straight-up blow-by defensively. Ball comes up top. Defender rotates over. You can't have these on-ball situations where not only do you get the blow-by, but the foul as well. Credit Charleston for applying that pressure. Timely bucket.
And he completes the 3-point play. So 15 for Smith. Brzovic still the team leader with 19, but you also have 14 points for Tavares and 12 points for Darren Boyd. It is now looking like a very balanced effort after Brzovic went 9 for 11 from the field in the first half. And now Metskladishvili is fouled in the act of shooting a 3 by Smith.
All right, Smith gets the 3-point play at one end and then may have given it right back here. You want to contest but not foul the shooter, and they're going to get him contact right on the wrist at the end, at the top of the release.
Yeah, you look at the scoreboard and you figure it's not really necessary to close out that hard or to contest that hard. Meanwhile, Nico Metskladishvili able to knock down the free throw. And he has one more coming. Good to see some of the fans that have hung out throughout the week with these teams. Some of them coming a long way here to support these respective programs and spending a Christmas day here in the arena in Honolulu, Hawaii. And we wish you a Mele Kalikimaka, Merry Christmas wherever you may be. Kanoa Leahy alongside Corey Williams here. Final day action of the Hawaiian Airlines Diamond Head Classic. Charleston by 14.
I'm sure there was a fair amount of arm twisting to get them to come
right?
to Hawaii.
Yeah. I guess so.
I guess I'll come out there.
Oh, that one somehow doesn't go for Brzovic, but he Moses Malones it, and he gets another rebound and the follow.
Had no stats, point blank miss, but everything going his way tonight.
And a nice cut there, finish on the other side for Metskladishvili. Brzovic now 21 points, 9 rebounds, so 1 board away from a double-double. And that's about as easy as it gets. How often have these guys done that in their time together? C.J. Fulton and Ante Brzovic, that was clockwork.
Little two-man game right here. you know, he's got the pick and pop. So when you curl a screen, the defender kind of has to stay with him. And if you stay too long, you get out of position, and there you see, as easy as it can be for him. You got a guy coming downhill. It's like pick your poison, 2-on-1, high percentage offense right there for the Cougars.
And it's Charleston signaling for this last 30-second timeout. Up by 16. It is all good. And Ante Brzovic once again leading the way. 23 points, 11 of 16 from the field, and 9 rebounds. And frankly, a lot of these field goals, they've had very little resistance around the rim.
No, he's getting looks today that he didn't get in the previous games. Point blank looks, wide open looks on the roll. In the first couple of games, they were able to take those things away. They trapped a lot of the ball screens. They were very physical with him. Defensively, in the first game against Oregon State, he got in foul trouble early. But today, he's been able to play his type of game. Their offense has been able to return to the way that they like to play. And you can see how difficult he is to stop when he gets the ball in the spaces they need him.
A team that had to welcome 11 newcomers to the roster this past offseason, along with a new coaching regime. And the 11 newcomers, 6th most in the nation. Good strong take there by Nick Graves. No easy task as a first-year head coach to then merge together a lot of new faces to the program. Smith finishing right in front of the rim. That's now 17 points for Smith.
Smith putting together a solid game. Some three-point shooting, but more important, getting downhill, applying that offensive pressure.
Rosado unable to finish on the reverse. Homer staying vertical there underneath. Fulton back to Comer, and it was a foul before the shot. It's going to be the 7th team foul, though, so 1-on-1 bonus here coming up. But that gets us to sweaters on the sideline.
I think you're pretty safe with that assumption.
And who knew that Greg Campy went deep into the wardrobe with all kinds of Grinch gear? Again, that Oakland-Hawaii battle for third will be coming up about 25 minutes after the conclusion of this one. We'll give way to Roxy Bernstein and Sean Farnham, and they will bring you that game as well as the championship between Oregon State and Nebraska. So the Merry Grinchmas button down here. There's the Grinch matching sweaters between Campy and Izzo.
You want to know how deep that friendship runs? Take a look at those sweaters.
Yeah.
Only your boy can get you to dress like that. I mean, he's got to be somebody special in your life if he hands you that and says, yo, put this on and come out in public with me.
That is a really good point. Two of the longest tenured head coaches in all of college basketball. They have gotten to know each other, coaching in the same state for all of those years. And the interaction that they had in the post-game press conference, it was classic.
I mean, you barely got me into this Hawaiian deal.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, my shirt all buttoned down, chest out. I mean, I question that. A Grinch sweater? That's top of the line.
So we're not there yet. Our relationship hasn't graduated to the matching Grinch sweater.
Wearing Hawaiian shirts. That's where we're at.
Gotcha. Brzovic does it again. So good with that jump hook, and he can go with either hand. He has 25 points. And the lead for Charleston, 72-56. Oh, good poke away there by Fulton, only for a moment, though. Oh, tough fall away, contested by Thomas. And Brzovic officially with a double-double now. He gets his 10th rebound. .6 minutes left to play. skip pass into the corner. That's Tavares. How about the series of moves, but the layup not there. Braswell in transition, draws the contact, goes up in, and one.
Braswell, one of those guys, you know that there's that athleticism inside, and they get it to him in transition. Watch this. Just one dribble to the rim. Little shoulder check action. Kind of throws the defender off and gets it off the glass. Good play.
Yeah, that foul on Smith, his fourth, so it sends Robert Braswell, the fourth, to the line. And Jacksonville, Florida, in his 7th year of college basketball. He has battled through injuries. 4th year at Charlotte after 3 seasons at Syracuse. 2 seasons in all of that were cut short by injuries. Plus, he had the COVID year, and so he's been around for a while. Trying to keep his 49ers in the mix in any way here, but the clock also ticking. Tavares missing the 3. And how about the hustle there? C.J. Fulton keeping it alive as Brzovic was able to snag it. Look at the patience here, Brzovic. 5 seconds to shoot. And it's going to be a reach-in foul late in the shot clock. It's going to be Nico Metsklarisvili. And Brzovic to the line. I think what you appreciate about Charleston in a game like this, where they have led comfortably, really from about midway through the first half, they have not gotten out of character. They have not started to rush up shots, maybe feeling themselves a little bit. They have stayed very much according to the scheme and to the game plan and have shown a lot of patience throughout.
Yeah, I mean, how you play when you have the lead is very important, and all coaches understand that. You know, hey, guys, we have the lead, but that means we take good shots. That means we continue to play solid defense, and you continue to rebound. But the main thing is you stay away from the turnover bug, because that's how you leave the door open for teams to come back. And they've done a good job of playing their style of offense. They haven't turned the ball over or gotten sloppy. And they've been able to keep Charlotte at bay here in the second half.
They've been handling the glass as well. Brzovic. Chair got pulled out from behind him a little bit, and he loses it out of bounds. Charleston out rebounding Charlotte 36-27. There's Graves off the jab step. Rosado follows it up and in. So you look up at the score, it's an 11-point differential. Closing in on 4 minutes to play. Charlotte still making a little bit of noise here. We have seen some crazy comebacks in this tournament already. Boyd for 3. Off the heel, rebound Fulton, just always in the right spot.
And the most important thing about that rebound, it bought them some more time to burn off of this clock.
Deep corner, this is Kirkic. That's no good. Rebound Charlotte, they have a chance to cut it to single digits. Three ball by Thomas, this is huge. He knocks it down. 49ers within 8 with 3:23 left to play. Timeout on the floor. Jayshawn Thomas keeping Charlotte in the mix.
Nick Graves takes the big man down and finds his boy out front wide open for the 3. And all of a sudden, a little drama here. And they're able to capitalize with every possession on offense. This game is definitely within reach.
It was a 21-point advantage for Charleston with about 14 minutes left in this second half. The vibe is different at the moment. Three ball, this is Kirkic off the mark. Rebound Metsklarisvili. 3 minutes to play.
show zone, but it basically breaks down into a man-to-man.
And a miss there by Metskladishvili from the wing. And C.J. Fulton handling. How about the stat line for Fulton? No points, 0 for 2 shooting, but he has 9 rebounds and 6 assists. Give him another one as he finds his main man, Ante Brzovic, who now has 27.
The brains of the operation. Fulton holds on to the ball to the precise moment to set up the big fella for a big bucket to slow this run down by the 49ers.
This is Thomas. Can he do it again? Splashes down from the corner. The lead is 7.
Beautiful flare screen right there. Set play, good execution, but they're going to need to stop right here.
Third made triple for Thomas. He's got 20. From the corner, it's Smith. Can't answer. Brzovic, the offensive board. Fulton will try a 3. And the rebound off to Rosado.
A quick 2 is just as good at this point.
Things getting a lot more interesting than what you would have expected when this was a 21-point margin. Rosado on the drive. Put it up wildly, but a whistle comes, and he is going to shoot free throws with 1:26 on the clock.
And I can't really understand where this foul is at. You see the penetration? There's a hand in the back. And it really didn't affect the shot, but it is illegal contact. But man, crunch time of a call, that's a bit much.
And that's number 4 on Brzovic. So here is Giancarlo Rosado. 7 for 8 from the free throw line in this game. Missing the first attempt. They will Tavares back into the game here for the Cougars. Second free throw is good. So a 2-possession game at the moment. And another sub here as Isaiah Folks comes in. 1 timeout left for Charlotte, 2 remaining for Charleston. Cougars easily getting past that 49er pressure. Now they can take a little time. And that's going to be a reach-in foul there by Rosado. That's the 9th team foul, so 1-1 coming here for Brzovic. Brzovic, a 71% free throw shooter for the season. He is 1 for 2 from the line tonight. He has put together a monster game. 27 points, 13 rebounds, 3 assists. He does have the 4 fouls, but trying to put the finishing touches on another titanic performance. He's a guy who went for 39 in a double overtime win against FAU in what was a chaotic scene at TD Arena earlier in the season. And he goes 2 for 2. Graves sets up Thomas for 3, and he hits it again. Oh, Jayshon Thomas is unconscious right now.
And you talk about outstanding execution. They knew they were running this play from before the free throws, and they came by and executed it with absolute stunning precision. It's all misdirection, but Thomas down the stretch has been phenomenal. No hesitation, getting his looks, getting to the rim, dialed in. You see the focus, you see his teammates looking for him in every opportunity. No hesitation, he's been lights out the second half, and we got a 5-point game because of the heroics of Thomas from beyond the arc.
Thomas with 23 points, 4 of 6 from downtown. He also has 9 rebounds and 3 assists. It has been an all-around effort, but he has gotten particularly hot here late in this second half. And keeping Charlotte at least in the picture here with just under a minute to play. So if you're Charleston, what's the objective here this upcoming possession? And if you're the 49ers, what are you thinking defensively?
Well, you're thinking, both teams are thinking about the 10-second violation. That's the first thing they're thinking about. And then after that, you're trying to get a deflection or a steal or something, because at this point in the game, 2 possessions, a minute to go, you're going to need missed free throws or turnovers. And you've got to try to create a situation where you can get a turnover, or you're hoping they miss free throws. And you and I both know hope is not a strategy.
For what it's worth, Charleston 10 of 17 from the free throw line. But give the 49ers credit for hanging in there here. A game that could have easily seen them packing it in here on a Christmas day, down 21. Maybe thinking like, let's just wrap this up and get on back to the continent. But they have put up a fight here. It will be Brzovic going to the line.
And they've opted to make the clock their friend. Commit the quick foul, and more than willing to try to trade 2s for 3s over the final 57.9 of this game.
Again, 2 games still remaining at the conclusion of this one. We have Oakland and Hawaii battle for 3rd place. It'll be about 25 minutes after this one ends on ESPN2. And then the championship, Oregon State and Nebraska. Roxy Bernstein and Sean Farnham will bring you those 2 games. Brzovic with his 4th career 30-point effort. Another 30-burger we have seen here in the Hawaiian Airlines Diamond Head Classic. And he hits both. Taking care of business. He's got 31. It is back to a 3-possession game.
And they are in Thomas's jersey, knowing
Graves will try a 3, and he gets fouled in the act by Darren Boyd.
And that's everything the 49ers wanted, a chance to score 3 points without the clock running much. They're going to get it. They try to get it to Thomas, but he was heavily guarded right here, fighting over the screen, and you end up right at the feet of the shooter, and that's going to be enough contact to send him to the line.
And the officials are going to take a moment to check where the feet were to see if this is a 2-shot foul or a 3-shot foul. And looked like Graves was behind the line, at least from that angle.
Yeah, it looked like he was well behind the line when he took off and jumped straight up. But right now, technically, man, from a strategic standpoint, you cannot foul the shooter down the stretch, because you put them in a situation where we could have a 4-point game if he steps up and knocks these down.
The Cougars have otherwise played such a sound game, strategically speaking, and from an execution standpoint. And that's just one of those fouls you cannot commit in that situation.
No, you've got to have some recognition. And the guy setting the screen, your defender on the ball screen has to be up. That's his job to contest the shooter, not the guy fighting over the top of that screen.
So 3 foul shots coming up, as it was confirmed a 3-point attempt for Nick Graves. See the free throws here. Charlotte goes to the line a lot. And as a squad, a 74% free throw shooting team, 20 for 25 in this one. And this is a best case scenario for the 49ers with Nick Graves at the free throw line, the clock frozen. And a chance to put 3 on the board, but Graves misses the first. Graves now 0 for 3 from the line after that miss in this game.
And that's definitely something you wouldn't expect from a player of his caliber. He's had a tremendous tournament, but right there, unable to connect on the first, and now strategy changes. What are we going to do? So hoping he makes the next 2.
Charleston calling for the timeout. They have one left. No timeouts remaining for Charlotte. And again, this is all headed towards the climax here later today. The championship matchup, Oregon State and Nebraska. Beavers getting by Oakland by virtue of an overtime win. Nebraska handling Hawaii in the semifinals. Scheduled tip is 8:30 Eastern on ESPN2. It is likely to get pushed back a little bit. The last two games of the tourney will be available over on ESPN2. Roxy Bernstein and Sean Farnham will bring you the call on those two matchups. Hawaii getting ready. The de facto host here of the Hawaiian Airlines Diamond Head Classic. And there's a look at the Oakland Golden Grizzlies. And again, it's third place. That's a pretty admirable spot to be in any kind of MTE, multi-team event. But also, you get 2 wins out of 3 games, and going 2-1 in a tournament of this format, that also feels pretty good.
It feels good. You know, you come in here and you say it's a level playing field, and you felt like all 8 teams felt they had a chance to win this, and there were no heavy favorites. But 2-1 coming out of here playing some stiff competition, I think that's definitely something you can hang your hat on.
A championship matchup between two teams that have perhaps even more so than just getting to the championship, but just by virtue of their style of play and certainly what Oregon State has been able to do defensively, kind of risen above the field here a little bit in profile, and I think that makes for a fantastic championship showdown. Graves goes 2 of 3.
2 possession games, so you still can't afford to let the clock run because you need.
Inbound goes to Berzovic. Back to Fulton, and it was knocked off of Fulton out of bounds. Now they can review this, and it appears as though the officials will, just to make sure that they get the possession correct. But if the call stands, it's Charlotte basketball. And this is a huge turnover.
First mistake, you enter the ball into the corner. The second mistake, passing without really being sure. Good anticipation right there by Graves. And I don't know if you see enough to overturn the call.
Yeah, I actually think from those 2 angles, you may see, if anything, a little bit of confirmation here. That right hand of Fulton kind of follows through on the ball there.
Yeah, Fulton makes every attempt to collect this ball because he knows he can't let Graves get it. And I think it even brushes off his left hand as it goes out of bounds, and that may be what the officials are taking a look at.
Will Howard, Amy Bonner, Todd Apo, the officiating crew here for this game, which has turned into a much more interesting game than what we thought it was going to end up looking like when it was a 21-point separation. So credit the 49ers for hanging in there. Gutsy comeback. And if they have the basketball here, a chance to really change the tone.
Well, there's a couple things that could go really well for the 49ers right here. If this call stands and they do get the ball, if they can figure out some kind of way for a quick hitting score on a baseline inbounds or something that gets them to the free throw line right away, that'd be the optimal situation for them right now. To turn this into a 1-possession game, still with 44 seconds to go, that would be great for them because then they could defend and get a chance to get the ball back. But to wait on the officials right now to find out what the verdict is on this risky inbounds and the deflection out of bounds.
Yeah, you can tell the officials treating this call with the utmost importance. This is key here, and they want to make sure they get this right. And I agree with you, Corey. I just don't think there's anything here that can allow you to justifiably reverse the call. And in fact, they have just made the official signal that they are upholding the call, and it is Charlotte basketball.
And right now, for the Cougars, you've got to defend without fouling. Don't give up any cheap points at the free throw line or certainly any layups.
This is Thomas from the corner. That one sails long. Meskladishvili with the offensive rebound, but he stepped out of bounds. And Charleston dodges a BB there. You had Jayshon Thomas with an open look from the corner.
Your best shooter gets a wide open look and sails it. And then your big man gathers himself but steps out of bounds. And the Cougars will get it back.
And they get it into Fulton, who gets it to Boyd, who is going to be fouled. And so Charlotte is forced to play the foul game. And Darren Boyd, who has 12 points, will make his first journey to the free throw line here in this game. Well, have had a blast here this week with you, my man. Always a pleasure working alongside you, and you always look good in the Aloha shirt. I know you're like a bow tie guy with the suit, but the Aloha shirt, it kind of suits you.
You know, I like it. It definitely goes with the atmosphere. I like the being out here with you and having a good time and calling the games. And I got to step it up because you always, I know you've got a closet full of this stuff. So, you know, I got to come with the bright colors so they don't get us confused.
It's the island life, you know? You gotta live the island way.
Well, now you've got a 3-possession game, and things are a little bit different. You need something quick.
Yeah, about a 8 to 9 second differential between the clocks. Graves got Smith in the air, and that's going to be number 5 on A.J. Smith, and Graves is going to go to the free throw line. We were talking about just how crisp, nice and neat a performance this was for the most part for College of Charleston. Things have gotten a little dicey here down the stretch, and some of the execution has been fairly questionable.
And we may not go on to have either of these teams when they get into their conference play, but you know these situations will occur later on throughout the season. So both coaches coaching these scenarios, hey guys, end of game is so important, how we finish games. Free throws, fundamentals, not turning the ball over.
And that free throw good for Graves. He's now 3 of 6 from there. He has 9 points. Charleston with 1 timeout remaining. But Charlotte cannot stop the clock. 5-point lead here for the Cougars. Seeing some offense, defense subs for the 49ers, and Tavares immediately fouled by Thomas. I don't think Thomas was looking to foul that instantly. Kind of looks in the direction of the officials like I think Tavares may have over-dramatized the reaction a little bit and got the whistle.
Academy Award there on the inbounds, but no harm done. The intent was definitely there to commit a quick foul.
Tavares with 14 points. Putting together a good consideration perhaps for at least some all-tourney thought. Of course, his teammate Ante Brzovic going bananas here for a 31-point, 13-rebound performance here on day 3. Tavares, he went for 30 on day 2, misses the front end there. Charleston just leaving the door ajar, just by a crack.
You miss this free throw, and then 28 seconds is an eternity, because now they can get a 2 or a 3.
Gets the second one. And so Charleston will use its final timeout here. So nobody with a timeout remaining, 28.6 on the clock, 81-75. And remember what happened, rewind to Monday against Murray State. Giancarlo Rosado, who had not made a 3 the entire season, down 3, puts it up, it goes through with 0.9 on the clock to tie the game at the end of regulation, forces overtime. Rosado would hit another 3 in the extra basketball phases. And Charlotte will go on to win that game 94-90 in double overtime. The first ever double overtime game in the Hawaiian Airlines Diamond Head Classic. So we have seen some crazy stuff here already this week. Charlotte was involved with some of that craziness just a couple of nights ago.
If you're Charleston, the rules are the same. Don't foul the three-point shooter. Collect that defensive rebound.
Here's Graves. Wide open for three. Hits it! It's down to a one-possession contest with 20.5 on the clock. Inbound goes to Brzovic. He gets doubled and fouled. And so Brzovic is going to go to the free throw line. And now, had a little bit of a bump between Brzovic and Graves. Sure if Graves was maybe just trying to get in the way a little bit, see if he could earn some kind of cheapie there.
That's bad.
That wasn't convincing.
That is
in
some
your eyes?
worst acting I've seen since some of those moves. Oh my goodness. I can't fault him for trying. I mean, anything to get an advantage. But you got a one-possession game with almost 20 seconds remaining, and credit Charlotte for doing some things right down the stretch.
And Brzovic misses the first free throw.
The door might be open.
Well, this becomes a biggie right here. And the 49er faithful, having traveled cross country to be here through the holidays to support this Charlotte squad. They're trying to make as much noise as they can muster here to bother Brzovic. Big free throw. And he knocks it down. So 4-point deficit here for the Niners. Thomas open for three. Can't hit it. Rebound Rosado. Bounce pass underneath and the two-hand dunk Meskladishvili. And it's a 2-point game with 7.2 remaining. Fulton is fouled immediately by Thomas. That'll be Thomas's fourth. 6.4 on the clock, and Charlotte just won't go away.
Making the good plays on the offensive end. Charlotte, the offensive rebound here is huge. Ball comes off, and now the decision. Who do I get it to? Take the easy two, and let's keep playing.
So C.J. Fulton, who has no points, making his first trip to the free throw line, knocks it down calmly. The 6'3" senior from Belfast, Ireland, affecting the game in all kinds of non-scoring ways. 9 rebounds, 7 assists. That's his first point. And he gets a little bit of iron, but knocks down the second one. Again, a 2-possession game. Graves trying to draw the foul, and he does. He's going to shoot 3 free throws. Are you for real?
Got a lot of stuff to work on. A lot of stuff to work on if you're the Cougars. This is just unacceptable. You don't need to be that close to the ball handler in that situation. Even if he makes the 3, the game is most likely over. Got to have a lot more court sense, a lot more discipline in the final seconds of a game.
Makes the first. So if he makes this second one, you're down 2, 3.9. Is this a miss on purpose situation?
Well, with 3.9 seconds, I mean, you still got to get an inbounds. There's no timeouts. Maybe there's a poor inbounds where you get a deflection. I mean, there's a lot of things that can happen. But Graves at the line, again with a missed free throw.
So now you have to miss it, right? And try to tap it out for the 3?
I'm thinking definitely you're looking for the miss and the tap out. And maybe the ball bounces the right way and you get a look.
How about Graves, 5 of 9 from the free throw line? This is on purpose. It comes out. Graves to tie it. And this game is over. College of Charleston narrowly hangs on, 84-81. And they will leave the islands with 2 wins here in the Hawaiian Airlines Diamond Head Classic.
The fact that they had a 3 in the air to tie is amazing, but there's the miss. They can't secure it. And Graves gets out to the line, gets a decent look, but just short. And they're going to escape with the win, but good execution down the stretch from Charlotte to make a run and possibly try to force overtime, but they come up short.
Ante Brzovic, the monster game, 32 points, 14 rebounds to lead the Cougars to victory and 5th place in the Hawaiian Airlines Diamond Head Classic.